Hey everyone, James with TFBTV, and today on TFBTV, we're bringing you what I think is the best series TFBTV has ever done since the How to Shoot Like John Wick videos that we filmed with Terran Tactical, and that is the How to Win the Fight series, as we're calling it. This series is going to be geared towards self-defense with a carbine or a rifle, and we filmed it at Thunder Ranch with none other than training legend Clint Smith. And in fact, if you haven't seen that 20 questions interview that I did with Clint, go ahead and check that thing out if you want to get a feel for what Clint is like. But this is loosely tracking Clint's urban rifle course. Urban rifle is a course that Clint Smith has been teaching for decades, and it's really based on this philosophical underpinning that most conflicts that we're going to get in, rifle or not, are going to be within pistol ranges. So there's a heavy emphasis on how to properly employ your rifle or your carbine within pistol ranges in a self-defense scenario, say such as within the home. I wanted to make a prefatory statement before we kicked off this series to say this is a series about self-defense. It's not a series about the glorification of violence or shooting people as cool. As Clint says throughout this video, nobody wants to shoot anybody. There's a lawyer attached to every bullet, and it's nothing personal. This is all about what you and I might have to do if we find ourselves in a situation where we're defending ourselves or loved ones against a threat. And that's what this series is geared towards. And I don't want that to get lost because Clint's presentation, he is all business on the range. And I don't want people to watch this video series, especially new shooters out there, and say, oh my God, can you believe this guy? Clint is one of the kindest and most decent human beings that I've ever met. So don't let Clint's on-range demeanor fool you. He's actually an incredibly nice guy. And as you'll see, he is also obsessed with safety. So this was all done safely under the guidance of experts, and we're bringing it all to you because of the generosity of Aero, Ballistic Advantage, Doubletap, Brownells, and EOTech. So in this introductory video, we're gonna kind of lay the base layer for the rest of the series and the other videos in the series. We're gonna go and do equipment, skills, drills, but this is more or less what urban rifle is all about. And we're gonna answer the question, who needs an AR-15 for self-defense? Enough talking, guys, please enjoy the series.
This is about fighting. This is not about, it's very cool. Everyone was very friendly today. We had a good time. I think the sandwiches were pretty good, and I don't give a shit. My job for the next 2 days is to make sure that if you ever get in a shit sandwich mode that you can walk away. I don't give a fuck what you ate for lunch, okay? I want to know, is your rifle zeroed? Can you load the son of a bitch without poking your eye out? That's what I want to know. And that's what I'm going to work on in the next couple of days. The reason it's called urban rifle, I've been teaching that class by that name since 1983. In layman's terms, if you ask me, somebody the other night asked me about the logo, okay? Urban rifle, why? Urban rifle is how to fight with a rifle inside what you'd normally consider to be a pistol range. And people go like, what? Okay, look at North Hollywood. Look at the Miami FBI shooting. All these things are basically length of the car, width of the car, the length of two cars, okay, and maybe across the street, okay? Here's an interesting thing. North Hollywood, 6,000 plus rounds fired in that. 6,000, downtown LA. One bad guy shot himself. The other bad guy was shot by the police, okay? And the 11 people who were injured, all of those people, okay, only one of them was hit by a bullet, and that bullet bounced off the sidewalk before it hit him in the leg. The other 10 people were all hit by secondary fragmentation, okay? Pieces of shards, copper jacketing, okay, glass, asphalt, all that shit. I'm not gonna do a bunch of fancy shit with you. I want you to be able to load the gun and unload the gun. And a lot of you already know how to do that, cool. And I'm not being disrespectful at all. If you are as good as you say you are, both mentally and physically, then you already know there's never anything wrong with running fundamentals. If I died today and they put some shit on my headstone, which they won't because I'm going to be burned with the trash, okay? If it said he taught fundamentals, that would be a happy meal for me. Fundamentals win fights, okay? It isn't about like who ran the fastest, okay? Who had the gun that shot the fastest, who had the most ammo, okay? That isn't the deal, okay? It's the people that like hit shit in a fight. Why a rifle? Okay, it's simply better. Okay, it's simply better. And the way to do it is really funny. If you take brand new people that don't know nothing about guns and you set a rifle down, a pistol down, you open the door and go in 3 seconds, the guy's going to come through with a big machete and try to chop your head off. And you go pick up the gun you want to fight with, pick up the big gun. Okay? Big guns are better. Handguns are tools of convenience, not a tool of effectiveness. 80% of all people shot by handguns, including multiple hits, survive. You know, handguns put holes in people, rifles put holes through people, shotguns, right range, right load, chunk of meat off, okay? All of you, from this day forward, in my personal opinion, need to consider that anytime you would use the gun, and I got it, there's different variations of why I would use the gun. I want to go like varmint hunting, da-da-da-da-da. But if you're using it in a defensive mode, which is my world, you have to anticipate that anybody you fight today, regardless of what weapons platform you have to consider that they have, at minimum, level 2 armor on, which means all of your handguns are no longer going to work. So in your training, if you ask one thing, you go, I thought this was about rifles. It is, but it's also about fighting. If you drew the gun and the very first thing in the arc of the draw that you covered was their pelvis, I'd shoot them in the crotch, okay? So it's like nothing personal. It's the heaviest bone structure in the body, may affect mobility. I didn't say it was a fight winning or a fight stopping hit. I said it was a good way to start the fight. Hi, my name's Laura. It's going downhill from here, shithead, okay? And it's nothing personal. Always remember that in our world, when we're using this as in a defensive mode, it's not personal. You know, when people go like, well, this school's about shooting. No, this school's about thinking. So if you have your pencil in your hand and you want to write something down, because smart people told me that if you write it in your own handwriting, you remember it better, okay? The 5-letter word that's the cornerstone of this school's doctrine is logic, L-O-G-I-C. What I see, what I hear, what I'm being told, what I'm being taught is illogical. So each one of you have to figure out how this works. You've heard the terminology, tools in the toolbox. I absolutely disagree with that vehemently. How many of you have a toolbox at home? If you open it up, is it organized or is it a shit sandwich? So the deal with it is, I don't want you to get in a fight and open the toolbox, okay, and have to sort through all this shit. This is what I know about fighting. If you have 10 different thought processes in your head, your mind will mentally touch each one of those to select what you want. From the logic perspective, you pick the pieces, okay, that are most appropriate to you. You go like, hey, Clint, I don't want to shoot anybody. I don't want to shoot anybody either, okay? It's just that simple. The school's not about shooting. So the next word I want you to write down at the top of the handout is the word think, T-H-I-N-K. That is what this school is about. Don't learn new shit in the middle of a fight. Learn shit now. My left-hand shooting sucks. What should I practice, Clint? Don't make me stab you. You already answered your own question. Your left-hand shooting sucks. What should you practice? Left-hand shooting. Okay? I'm not completely familiar with this gun. Then you should get more familiar, right? It's not hard to pull the trigger. All right. The problem is to think the process through, because when you pull the trigger, your problem doesn't end, it just begins. Now you get a lawyer stuffed up your ass, okay? And all that money that you had saved for your retirement, guess what? Is now buying this guy a new Ferrari or something, okay? Because in your world, every bullet that goes down the barrel will have a lawyer attached to it. Now you got to unfornicate that. Okay? So I need for you to think logically about what's going on, and I need for you to think about the processes. Make the stuff and the selection of how you run your rifle as simple as possible. You can't tell me that you won't be in a fight for your life at this time next week any more than I can tell you you will. So all you have to ask yourself is, how will you train? I need to explain something to you. You kind of go like, what a dick, okay, whatever, whatever. I need for you to understand something. I ain't getting paid jack shit for this. I didn't give you shit, okay? And I ain't being paid shit. So I don't have to take any shit. This is my range. This is my world, okay? So I need for you to like man up, girl up, whatever, okay? And do what I asked you to do, and it's nothing ugly. One more time, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this shit because I love it, okay? And you assholes are gun riders, okay? You're just like another ground piece of meat unless you know how to do this gun and make it work, okay? All you are is another body bag liner, okay? Unless you can make this shit work, okay? And the guy goes, well, you know, like, you know, I'm fish and duck. I don't give a f, okay? And neither will the guy's trying to kill you if he breaks in your house, okay? But it ain't nothing ugly, and it's not personal, right? Most rifle fights take place inside pistol ranges. Don't take my word for it, look for it. Research it, look at it, okay? The deal in North Hollywood, okay? The Miami FBI shooting, okay? That's a beautiful example of people dicking around, okay? Taking like handguns and shit to a rifle fight. Okay, rifles are basically physiologically, okay, and psychologically monsters in a short-range fight. They just eat shit up. every one of the FBI agents who survived, okay, in oral interviews said how much the muzzle blast, okay, and the sound of the gun, okay, and the loudness of the gun affected the psyche of them in that fight, okay. Guns are loud, okay, and that's what you do, so like you got them in the house, okay, so you kind of got it. This is a very simple drill. I want you to think about what happens in it. This is truly about fighting. You have the pelvic girdle here, you have the center here, and you have the head, okay, and I'll talk to you about all that stuff as we go along. What I want you to start with first is I want you to remember to bring the gun up from a proper ready position, and don't forget your damn safety. Then I want you to shoot this guy, whatever number of rounds I tell you. If you go like, well, the ammo's free, I'm gonna shoot an extra round. I don't give a shit, but I don't want you to dump a magazine. If I say 2 and you shoot 3, I don't care, okay? I want you to shoot them, all right? Then, as soon as you shoot them, I want you to stay on target, on trigger, and I want you to track this guy to exactly where the f he would go in a fight, which is where? Down. So that's your guy on the ground. So if this is your guy here, that's your guy you track to. This is your guy here, that's your guy you track to. Everybody got it? All right, so what I want you to do is when you go back online, check yourself. This is my guy, and this is where I'm tracking to. When you track, I want you on target, on trigger. Don't shoot this guy, then take your finger off, okay? Stay right in there, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go 2 rounds, we'll say center, okay? Butter, track him to the ground. Then if you hear me and I yell body, I want you to hit that bastard in the body, okay? How many times, Clint? How many times you shoot him here? Twice, then shoot him twice. Look at me, this is very important. I am not, do not, and would not advocate we walk down the hallway, screw the muzzle into somebody, okay, who was like out of the fight and blast them in the fucking face. That's not what I said. This is the other side of the coin. You can't fight in 2 directions at once. And I'm not going to. If I don't think they're out of the fight, I shoot them again. Yo, you shot my client while I was on the ground. I shot your client while it was a threat to me, right? If you shoot them and they're on the ground, go in, raise your hand, yo, your grand jury ship. I shot him several times. It was pretty exciting. I'm not exactly sure. The guy went on the ground. He tried to get back up off the ground. I was in fear for my family and myself or my partner. I shot him again. Wasn't nothing personal, okay? So whatever I tell you, which I'll tell you now so we get it clear in your head, I might have you come from ready, muzzle comes up, safety comes off, we'll put 2 rounds center. Stay on target, on trigger, track them to the ground. While you're there, I want you to talk to them. Stay on the ground, don't move. Okay, you go, well, why would I practice that? You're practicing fucking shooting, and you've talked to more people than you shot. So practice it. And don't be fucking rude like me, okay? And drop the fucking gun, you fucking, you know. Probably keep it short, clean, and clear. Stop, drop the weapon, don't move, okay? You're scaring me. Because remember, if you called the police and dialed 911, you should have set the phone down on the receiver up. Everything that goes in the phone is admissible in court. So what you want to be saying is really good shit that protects you when you go to court. Does that make sense to you? Yes. Okay, I'm in fear for my life. You scaring me, get out of my house. But I wouldn't personally tell them I had a gun. If I don't have visual contact with them and they don't have visual contact, in other words, they're on the other side of the door, I wouldn't be yelling shit like, I got a gun. They'll know you have a gun, dear, when they kick in the fucking door. But it ain't personal, right? It's not personal. Okay, good. So everybody go ahead and step back in the center, put your eye pro on. If you just stay right in here about where Ryan is, put your ears on. Come here, Jack. Got this one and that one. So the command will be real simple, okay? I go, on the up command, I want 2 rounds center, your target, track to the ground. Stand by, okay? Watch your ears now. Ready, up. Stay on the ground, don't move. Don't move. Body! Stay plugged into the fight, because I may do it again. Body!
Show me your hands. Stop moving.
Everybody got it? You go, I'm not really sure about that. I'm sure that some of you are not sure about it. Ask me how I know that, because I see your eyes. This motherfucker jumps up like the booger man in a Halloween movie. You're going to shit yourself, biblically, okay? You'll be one big racehorse shit thing all the way down the hallway going like, me, I shot him with a rifle and he got up. Maybe he never read a book on ballistics. Maybe he's wearing a level 4 plate. Maybe he's on meth and just pulled his own fucking eyeball out and ate it. In today's world, it's crystal meth and all that shit. My day was LSD. You would fucking shoot them and they would just suck that shit up and come right ahead like a freight train. You go, I know I hit him. I know you hit him too, but it don't matter. They don't know and they won't care, and you must physically, okay, break them. But it's nothing personal, right? Okay, cool. Right back here on the line, let's go. Everybody go to ready. I need you to have verbal compliance on this drill. You need to communicate with each other. Point at your standing target, point in. This would be a good time to think about what power your scope was on. You'd want to have the widest field of view possible, not the Hubble fucking telescope. Point at your ground target. Good, go to ready, safety on. Command of execution will be up. On the up command, put 3 rounds center on the standing target and track to the ground. Stand by. Ready, up!
Mike's not on.
Body! Okay, about now you'd go, well, I'd never have to shoot anyone that much. Really? So if you look at the Miami FBI shooting, the #1 primary shooter was hit 12 times in that fucking fight. 12. The first round, documented, probably killed him. 3 minutes later, he had killed 2 agents and wounded 5, loaded his fucking rifle on the move, got in a fucking car, got out of the fucking car, shot a fucking revolver till it was empty. And that totally awesome fight that everyone's so intrigued with their fucking polymer pistols and high-capacity magazines was won by a one-armed motherfucker with a revolver. Gotta hit him, people. Go to ready.
Ready.
Safety is on. On the up command, you should be looking over the top of the rifle so you can see this fucking dude. Not looking through that damn toilet paper tube. On the up command, 3 rounds. Standing, track to the ground. Ready? Up! Body!
Stay on target, on trigger. Get ready to shoot them again.
Body! Ultimately, in the end, always remember that the sole and primary function of a firearm means that you will personally never be subjected to the whims of other people without your permission. I'm talking to you about being a human being. You are not going to be subjected to the whims of other people without your permission when you own a firearm.